The night CM Punk got destroyed by a ghost. The moment that sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world. And after weeks of speculation, theories, and complete chaos on Monday Night Raw, the truth is finally crawling out of the shadows. But here's the twist nobody saw coming: WWE might be playing the most dangerous game they've ever played, and the man behind the mask could change everything we thought we knew about loyalty, betrayal, and what it takes to survive in the Vision's twisted world. What you're about to witness isn't just another wrestling controversy. This is about a young superstar's career hanging in the balance, a world heavyweight champion left vulnerable, and a faction so ruthless they'll destroy anyone who stands in their path. Before we dive into this absolute warzone of destruction and deception, I need you to do something for me, and I'm asking from the heart because this channel only exists because of you. Hit that subscribe button right now. Join the SLAMZONE family. We're building something special here, a community that lives and breathes this business just like you do. Every single week, we break down the matches, the moments, and the madness that makes wrestling the greatest form of entertainment on earth. And please, smash the like button because it genuinely helps us keep bringing you this content. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on who you think is really under that mask, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment when we upload. You're not just subscribing to a channel, you're becoming part of a family that understands what it means to mark out for this business. Now let's get into this absolute chaos. Survivor Series War Games. The most brutal match in professional wrestling. 2 massive steel cages surrounding one ring, and inside that hellacious structure, 10 warriors fighting for their survival. CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion, leading his team against Paul Heyman's Vision faction. The crowd is on their feet, hearts pounding, watching these athletes destroy each other with everything they have. Bodies are broken, blood is spilled, and the warfare is reaching its climax. Punk has just nailed Logan Paul with a devastating GTS, and you can feel it, the entire arena believes this is it. This is the moment Team Punk takes control. But then something happens that nobody sees coming. A figure appears at the top of the cage. Dressed entirely in black, hood covering their face, moving with purpose and deadly intent. The cameras catch it, and Wade Barrett's voice cuts through the chaos on commentary, pointing out what nobody wants to believe. Is that Seth Rollins? But that can't be possible. The Visionary is recovering from shoulder surgery, he's supposed to be months away from returning. Yet this person moves with such precision, such calculated violence, that for a split second the entire wrestling world holds its breath. The masked man drops into the ring, and time seems to freeze. CM Punk and Braun Breaker stand on opposite sides, exhausted, battered, giving everything they have. The mystery figure stands between them, looking at both men, and the tension is suffocating. Who is he going to attack? Whose side is he on? The answer comes swift and brutal. He turns toward Punk, steps forward, and delivers a short, devastating superkick that snaps the champion's head back. Punk staggers, dazed, vulnerable, and then the masked man jumps, drives both feet into the mat, and hits a curb stomp that echoes through the arena like a gunshot. Seth Rollins' signature move. His calling card. His weapon of mass destruction, delivered with surgical precision. The masked figure doesn't celebrate, doesn't pose, doesn't say a word. He simply scales the cage with the same speed he entered, disappearing into the night like a phantom, leaving CM Punk laid out in the center of the ring. Braun Breaker, sensing his moment, charges across the canvas and drives a spear through Punk's ribs that could split a man in half. The referee counts, 1, 2, 3, and it's over. The Vision wins War Games. But nobody's celebrating the victory. Every single person in that arena, every fan watching at home, is asking the same question: who was that masked man? The speculation starts immediately, consuming social media, podcasts, every wrestling website on the planet. Seth Rollins is the obvious answer. The curb stomp is his move, his creation, his legacy. But the timeline doesn't add up. His shoulder surgery was serious, the recovery lengthy, and sources inside WWE confirm he's nowhere near cleared to compete. So if it's not Rollins, who has the audacity to use his finisher? Who benefits from this chaos? Randy Orton's name gets thrown around. The Viper has history with Punk, brutal history, legendary matches that defined an era. Jacob Fatu, who was originally scheduled for War Games before injury, becomes a popular theory. Some fans even suggest Montez Ford, pointing to the athleticism, the build, the movement patterns that seem familiar yet different. But then the reports start dropping. Fightful Select breaks the news first. Multiple WWE sources confirm that the man under the mask at Survivor Series was Austin Theory, the former United States champion who's been missing from television for months, sidelined with an injury that nobody talked about publicly. Theory, who was once Vince McMahon's golden boy, then faded into the background, losing momentum, losing direction, seemingly lost in the shuffle of WWE's massive roster. Now he's back, aligned with Paul Heyman and the Vision, positioned to be the breakout star that Heyman has been searching for. Dave Meltzer confirms it in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, providing context that makes the whole picture even more intriguing. Theory was originally scheduled to be in the War Games match itself before Jacob Fatu's injury changed the plans. Paul Heyman specifically wanted Theory in the Vision, wanted to protect Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed from taking unnecessary pins, wanted to create a star who could carry the faction into the future. The attack wasn't random chaos, it was calculated strategy, a statement of intent, a declaration that the Vision isn't just about brute force, they're about intelligence, manipulation, and long-term domination. But here's where the story gets even more twisted, where WWE starts playing mind games with their own audience. On the Monday Night Raw following Survivor Series, the Masked Man appears again. He attacks Rey Mysterio from behind, preventing the WWE Hall of Famer from competing against Finn Balor. Later that same night, he interferes in the main event, helping Logan Paul defeat LA Knight with another brutal stomp. The crowd erupts in boos, security chases after him, but he escapes again, maintaining the mystery, keeping everyone guessing. And this is where the eagle-eyed fans start noticing something strange. The body type looks different. The mannerisms don't quite match. The way he moves through the ropes, the way he delivers the stomp, even the boots he's wearing seem inconsistent between appearances. Bryan Alvarez drops a bombshell on Wrestling Observer Live. WWE is using multiple people to portray the Mystery Man. At Survivor Series, it was Austin Theory. On Monday Night Raw, it might have been Montez Ford or someone else entirely. The company is deliberately trying to throw fans off, creating confusion, making it impossible to solve the puzzle through freeze-frame analysis and amateur detective work. This is psychological warfare at its finest. WWE understands that modern fans dissect every frame of footage, compare height and weight, analyze movement patterns like they're studying game film. So they're using that obsession against the audience, deploying different wrestlers in the same costume to make identification impossible. It's brilliant and frustrating in equal measure, keeping the mystery alive far longer than it would survive in the social media age where spoilers spread faster than wildfire. The implications for CM Punk are massive. His World Heavyweight Championship reign, built on redemption and resilience after his return to WWE, is now under constant threat. He can't predict when or where the attacks will come. He can't prepare for an opponent whose identity keeps shifting, whose motivations remain unclear. Every entrance, every match, every backstage segment becomes a potential ambush. The psychological toll of looking over your shoulder every second of every day, knowing that someone wants to destroy you but not knowing exactly who, would break most people. But Punk isn't most people. This is personal for him in ways that go deeper than championship gold or faction warfare. When that masked man chose to attack him instead of helping him, it was a betrayal of trust, a violation of the code that's supposed to exist between competitors. In wrestling, you can hate your opponent, you can want to destroy them in the ring, but there are lines you don't cross. Attacking from behind, hiding your face, refusing to face someone like a man, that's coward behavior. And CM Punk has built his entire career on calling out cowards, on exposing hypocrites, on forcing people to face him with honor or be destroyed trying to run. For Austin Theory, if he is indeed the primary person behind the mask, this represents the biggest opportunity and the biggest risk of his career. At 28 years old, he's talented enough to main event WrestleMania, physically gifted enough to compete with anyone on the roster, and young enough to be the face of WWE for the next decade. But his booking has been inconsistent, his character development stalled after losing Vince McMahon's support when the former chairman left the company. Theory needs this moment to redefine himself, to show that he's not just potential waiting to be fulfilled, but a legitimate top-tier threat who can hang with the absolute best in the business. Hit that like button if you're invested in this story, if you want to see where this mystery leads, if you want justice for CM Punk, or if you're rooting for the Vision's chaos to continue consuming everything in its path. Subscribe to SLAMZONE because we're tracking every single development in this storyline, breaking down every clue, analyzing every appearance. Comment below with your theories, your predictions, who you think WWE should reveal as the definitive attacker. Is it Theory? Is it multiple people? Is there another twist coming that nobody's considered? Let's discuss this as a community, because that's what makes wrestling special. We're all trying to solve the puzzle together. Aligning with Paul Heyman changes everything for Theory. Heyman is the greatest manager in wrestling history, the advocate who turned Brock Lesnar into a myth, who guided CM Punk to the longest WWE Championship reign of the modern era, who orchestrated Roman Reigns' transformation into the tribal chief. When Heyman chooses you, when he puts his reputation behind your success, it means something. It means he sees money, he sees star power, he sees someone capable of carrying the industry forward. Theory joining the Vision alongside Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed creates a faction with the perfect balance of youth, power, and technical skill. Breaker is the explosive second-generation superstar destined for greatness. Reed is the immovable force who destroys everything in his path. And Theory could be the technical strategist, the psychological manipulator, the one who thinks 3 steps ahead. But there's danger in this path too. CM Punk is not someone you mess with lightly. His entire career has been built on revenge, on making examples of people who cross him, on never forgetting a slight and always settling scores. If Theory steps out from behind that mask and reveals himself as Punk's attacker, he's declaring war on one of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling history. Punk will come for him with everything he has, with years of experience, with championship gold on the line, with the kind of intensity that makes careers and breaks bodies. Theory needs to be ready for that war, needs to prove he can survive in the deep water where legends swim. The question WWE faces is how to maximize this reveal without making it feel anticlimactic. The longer they wait, the higher expectations climb. Fans want payoff, want the satisfaction of seeing the mask removed, of understanding the full story, of watching CM Punk get his hands on the person who cost him War Games. If the reveal happens on Raw, it needs to be massive, with Heyman cutting a promo that explains the master plan, with the Vision standing united as Theory steps forward, with Punk's rage exploding into violence that sets up a feud lasting months. If they continue the mystery, if they use it to build heat for Royal Rumble or even WrestleMania season, they risk losing momentum, having fans lose interest as the payoff keeps getting delayed. The wrestling business is built on moments. On revelations that make you jump out of your seat, on twists that recontextualize everything you thought you understood, on performers stepping up when the spotlight is brightest and delivering magic that becomes part of history. Austin Theory attacking CM Punk at Survivor Series could be that kind of moment if WWE books it correctly. It could be the launching pad for Theory becoming the next breakout heel the industry desperately needs. Or it could be another example of potential wasted, of a storyline that promised everything and delivered disappointment. Right now, in this moment, before the final answers arrive, we're living in the most exciting part of the mystery. The speculation, the theories, the debates between fans who are equally convinced they've solved the puzzle. Some people freeze-frame the Survivor Series footage and measure the attacker's height against known wrestlers, creating comparison charts that would make FBI analysts jealous. Others analyze the way he throws kicks, looking for signature tells that expose his identity. The hardcore fans dive into injury reports, tracking who was backstage at Survivor Series, who had reason to align with the vision, who fits Heyman's pattern of choosing clients. This collective investigation, this community effort to crack the case, is peak wrestling fandom at its best. And maybe WWE is just letting this play out, watching the engagement metrics explode, seeing the discussion dominate social media, understanding that sometimes the mystery itself is more valuable than the answer. They've used multiple people under the mask not just to confuse fans but to extend the shelf life of the angle, to give themselves flexibility in booking, to see which direction generates the most heat before committing fully. It's the kind of long-term storytelling that requires patience from both the company and the audience, but when executed properly, creates television moments that define eras. CM Punk walking into Monday Night Raw every week not knowing if tonight's the night he finally gets answers creates unpredictable television. Will he demand Heyman reveal the truth? Will he threaten to forfeit the World Heavyweight Championship unless the mystery man faces him like a man? Will he take matters into his own hands, tearing through the vision one by one until someone breaks and gives him what he wants? Each of these options provides compelling television, character-driven drama that transcends standard wrestling matches and becomes something deeper, something personal, something that makes viewers emotionally invested in the outcome. For the Vision as a faction, this mystery attacker becomes their secret weapon, their wild card that keeps opponents off balance. Even if it's eventually revealed to be Austin Theory, the fact that they successfully used multiple people creates doubt, makes future interference unpredictable, establishes them as thinking enemies who don't rely solely on power. Paul Heyman's greatest strength as a manager has always been his strategic mind, his ability to find advantages others overlook, his willingness to bend rules and manipulate situations until his clients stand victorious. Having a masked attacker who could be anyone at any time embodies that philosophy perfectly. The parallel to Seth Rollins cannot be ignored. If Theory is truly under that mask, he's not just attacking CM Punk, he's using Rollins' move to do it, essentially stealing the architect's identity along with his finishing maneuver. That creates an entirely separate story thread waiting to be explored when Rollins returns from injury. Does Seth come back furious that someone appropriated his stomp? Does he view Theory as a protege who learned from the best, even if that learning happened without permission? The potential for Rollins versus Theory down the line, with Punk caught in the middle, with competing claims over who truly owns that devastating move, could fill months of television and multiple pay-per-view matches. Before we get to the final part of this breakdown, I want to remind you one more time to hit that subscribe button and join the SLAMZONE family. We live for this content, for dissecting these storylines, for celebrating the art of professional wrestling with fans who get it, who understand that this isn't just fake fighting but the most complex form of physical storytelling ever created. Your support, your comments, your likes, your shares, that's what keeps this channel growing, what allows us to keep producing content that treats wrestling with the respect and analysis it deserves. So click that button, turn on notifications, and let's grow this community together. The next few weeks will determine whether the storyline becomes legendary or joins the long list of wrestling mysteries that promised more than they delivered. WWE has the pieces in place for something special. They have a protected World Heavyweight Champion in CM Punk who can carry any feud with his promo ability and in-ring psychology. They have a rising star in Austin Theory who needs exactly this kind of spotlight to fulfill his potential. They have Paul Heyman, the greatest talker in wrestling history, orchestrating everything with master-level storytelling. And they have the Vision, a faction positioned to dominate the main event scene for years. What they need now is the courage to commit, to trust Theory as the revealed attacker, to give him the microphone and the platform to explain why he chose violence, why he aligned with Heyman, why CM Punk needed to fall. That promo, that moment of revelation, could make or break Theory's entire career. If he delivers with the confidence and intensity of someone who belongs in that top spot, fans will accept him as a legitimate threat. If he stumbles, if the promo feels rehearsed or insincere, if he can't match Punk's verbal warfare, then the entire angle deflates and Theory returns to mid-card purgatory. The storytelling possibilities extend beyond just Punk versus Theory. What about Cody Rhodes, Punk's partner at War Games, who also lost because of the masked attacker? What about GUSO, Sami Zayn, and Seth Rollins when he returns, all of whom have reason to want revenge on the Vision? WWE could build a months-long war where Punk's quest for vengeance becomes the central storyline of Raw, where every episode builds toward an ultimate confrontation, where factions form and dissolve based on shared enemies and competing agendas. That kind of interconnected storytelling, where one angle influences multiple storylines and creates a living, breathing ecosystem of conflict, represents wrestling at its absolute best. This is where we are, right here, right now, at the crossroads of potential greatness. A mystery that has consumed the wrestling world since Survivor Series. A masked attacker who might be Austin Theory, might be multiple people, might represent something larger than any individual performer. A world heavyweight champion who won't stop until he gets his revenge. And a faction led by Paul Heyman that seems unstoppable, seems determined to control WWE through intelligence, violence, and manipulation. The truth is coming. Whether it's on Monday Night Raw next week, at the Royal Rumble, or somewhere in between, that mask will eventually come off, the full story will be revealed, and CM Punk will get his chance at retribution. When it happens, when Theory finally stands before Punk without hiding, without the hood and the mask and the cowardice, that's when we'll find out if he's truly ready for this level of warfare. That's when we'll discover if the Vision's gamble pays off, if Heyman's master plan comes together, if a new star is born, or if CM Punk destroys another challenger who wasn't ready for the pressure. Until that moment arrives, we're here, watching, analyzing, debating, living and breathing every development in this story. This is why we love wrestling, why we dedicate hours to discussing angles and predicting outcomes and marking out when storylines deliver. Because when it's done right, when performers and creative work together to craft something that feels real and emotional and unpredictable, there's no form of entertainment that comes close. Hit that like button one final time. Subscribe to SLAMZONE so you're here with us when that mask finally comes off. Comment below with your final prediction before the reveal happens. Are you Team Theory? Or do you think WWE has another twist waiting? And share this video with your wrestling friends, because content like this only works when the community comes together to discuss, debate, and celebrate this amazing business we all love. The mystery continues. The war rages on. And somewhere in the shadows, Austin Theory is preparing for the moment that will define his career, the moment he steps out of darkness and into the light, facing CM Punk and the entire WWE universe with nowhere left to hide. When that moment comes, we'll be here to break it all down. Until then, keep watching, keep guessing, and keep believing in the magic of professional wrestling. This is SLAMZONE, where we treat wrestling like the art form it deserves to be recognized as. Thanks for watching, thanks for being part of this family, and we'll see you in the next breakdown when this story takes its next incredible turn.